¿Qué tal, comunidad? Aquí habla su abogado Ray Ybarra Maldonado. Feliz viernes. We're getting ready for the 3-day weekend. All excited. Probably going to go have some plans with your family, with your friends, and you're thinking life is great, life is wonderful. We started off the morning in the immigration world with some bad news. That's on the Perea case that you've probably been hearing a little bit about, that if the notice to appear, it doesn't have the date to be set, time to be set, that perhaps the case could be dismissed or terminated completely. Well, what happened this morning is that the Board of Immigration Appeals came out with a decision that says the opposite of that. It says the Supreme Court's ruling in the Perea case is actually very limited and shouldn't apply to dismissing all the cases as us immigration attorneys have been trying to do. So a little bit of a setback in the morning. Of course, nobody really expected the BIA to come out with a different opinion than that. Now it's on to the circuit courts, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, the other Circuit Court of Appeals. Hopefully we get a good decision there. So you think, hey, that's the news taking us into the weekend. Wrong, right? Then we hear the Texas decision, the long-awaited Judge Hanen decision on the preliminary injunction is out today. So what I want everybody to do, if you can do me a favor and give us a share right now, because I know a lot of people have been going crazy waiting for this decision to come out, and it finally came out today. So take a little time, go over to the button that says share there, hit share, and invite people on over so that they can get the latest about what happened with this order from Judge Hanen out of Brownsville Division in the Southern District of Texas. So let me bring up the decision for you and we will talk about it. Of course, if you have any questions or any comments, feel free to drop them down below in the comment area. And let me get up here the order. Now, you guys are probably thinking, hey, it's Friday. What better to do than to read 117 pages? Look at this. Page 1 of 117, memorandum, opinion, and order. Now, usually when you see 117 pages, you think, well, okay, that probably includes like some exhibits, some photos, something else other than just the order. But take a look. Let's do a little scroll here. Let's do a scroll down. This decision, words, 117 pages written by Judge Hanen, signed on today's date. So he literally wrote a book on DACA. So this decision, you can go through it and learn the history of DACA and learn why some people think it's good, why some people think it's bad, why some people think it is okay with the APA, why some people it's not okay with the APA. And to me, it is surprising. I did think that Judge Hanen was going to come out saying that the program had to end. So to cut to the chase for most of you out there that are watching that just want to know, Judge Hanen did not end DACA renewals today. So you can still renew your DACA. You can still renew DACA. There's no drama that's going to happen. USCIS can't say because of this order, now we're going to stop taking renewals, as many of us had predicted. Judge Hanen essentially says that the renewals can continue for the time being, right? So we're not going to, I know you're very excited. You're thinking, oh, Ray, let's go through those 117 pages so we can learn all about what Judge Hanen said. Wrong. What we're going to do is we're going to go Cliff Notes. You guys remember Cliff Notes back in school where you're supposed to read the whole book and you just go to the little Cliff Notes and you read that section the night before the report or the test is due? That's what we're going to do here with Judge Hanen's decision, because he also issued a 6-page interlocutory appeal order where he gives us the Cliff Notes of his decision and we can easily digest it so you can understand what he's talking about here. So to begin with, it's the first couple of sentences here. He does find that he believes DACA is contrary to the Administrative Procedure Act. So basically he's saying that DACA shouldn't be in place. That's sentence number 1. Sentence number 2 is saying he also believes that the states, Texas and the other states that are suing, have shown irreparable injury. That means they are harmed. So DACA is against the APA and these states were harmed, so they have standing to issue the lawsuit. However, in the third sentence here, the court did not grant the requested preliminary injunction as it found the states had delayed seeking this relief for years. that the balance of private interest fell in favor of denial of the requested relief, and that implementing that relief at this point in time was contrary to the best interests of the public. Cha-ching. So he's saying right there, I don't think DACA is constitutional, let's use that word. I do think the states have been injured, but basically states, you took too long. Why did you wait so many years to bring this lawsuit? And we have to remember the procedural posture of the case right now. It's on a motion for preliminary injunction. Motion for preliminary injunction means, Judge, this case is so important and the answer is so obvious, we want you to issue an order stopping it before the trial, right? So that's what the preliminary injunction is. So Judge Hanen here is saying, I think you're going to win a trial. And in fact, if it goes before him and it's a judge trial, they're going to win a trial. I think you were injured, so I think we can end the program, but we can't end it yet because you guys waited so long to bring this lawsuit that there's no way we can justify using the extraordinary measure of preliminary injunction and canceling it. And so many people have DACA right now, it's going to hurt them more essentially than it's going to hurt the states by continuing the program until the case is over. So it's not a gigantic, huge victory. Español, por favor, si voy a ser en español también, no se preocupe. Thank you. So it's not a huge victory, but it is a more time that we are getting. So we're buying more time. And at the end of the day, Judge Hanen says, contrary to the APA, irreparable injury, it's delayed seeking it. So in the best interest of the public, we got to keep it going. But what is this? What is this interlocutory appeal order? Interlocutory appeal order goes over briefly his decision where it recaps, hey, I think it doesn't qualify for the APA. I think it's also up in the air whether or not it's constitutional within the presidential executive power to issue this kind of program. And he says the APA, they didn't comply with the notice and comment section. And here's the part where he talks about the executive branch maybe not having the authority to issue DACA. And then he's saying there's also differing minds of whether or not, you know, this preliminary injunction should have been granted. And then he's going into the unreasonable delay. And some people could say it was reasonable because they did it after the program was reinstated, very quickly after that. And at the end of the day, what is he saying? Let's go down here to number 8. Here's the gist of what he's saying today. Basically, we want the Supreme Court to decide it. So he's issuing this order, giving both parties 21 days to file the appeal, the interlocutory appeal to the circuit court so the circuit court can decide it. So that then all the circuit courts can decide it, then it can go to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court can issue a decision. It's a bit of a punt by Judge Hanen. He's basically saying that he doesn't want to take up the time of the plaintiffs and the defendants and do a full blown out trial that could take weeks or even longer and cost hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. Since it's just a legal issue, let's take it up to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals and then eventually the Supreme Court. Whoever wins there, probably going to win the case anyways. No need to do a trial. Let's go ahead and go straight to the appellate court. From my perspective, couldn't have got a better decision out of Judge Hanen, really. Everybody was expecting the worst. Everybody was expecting him to cancel it. And here he's saying, I'm going to punt. Let's go up to the Circuit Court of Appeals. We'll see what they say. And we have a better chance with 3 different judges than with just Judge Hanen, who we all knew was going to rule negatively. So positive outlook today from DACA. And I'll take your questions. I'll do it in Espanol right now as well. If you have any other questions, feel free to drop them down below. So, lo que estamos diciendo hoy es que anunció el Corte de Texas la decisión sobre el caso de DACA que estamos esperando. Todos nosotros estábamos esperando, los abogados pensaban que él iba a negar DACA y cancelar completamente el programa y no lo hizo. En la decisión hoy era 117 páginas. Escribió un libro sobre DACA explicando su razón, su opinión. Él piensa que no debe ser el programa legal, que debe cancelar el programa y los estados son dañados porque este programa de DACA, pero él está diciendo que no pusieron la demanda con suficiente prisa, que esperaron años con el programa de DACA y por esa razón lo están negando la moción. Tenemos que pensar, eso no es el juicio, eso es una moción extraordinaria que preguntó los estados, incluyendo Texas, de cancelar el programa. Dijo el juez, básicamente, yo estoy de acuerdo con ustedes, Texas, yo pienso que el DACA es ilegal, yo pienso que ustedes fueron dañados, pero ¿por qué esperaron tanto tiempo a poner esa demanda? Y por esa razón no la va a terminar DACA él mismo y está diciendo que está ordenando que cualquier de esos del estado de Texas o Maldef y los plaintiffs pueden ir al corte de apelación de 5 circuito para que lo hagan la decisión. Y después que lo piden la respuesta de la Corte Suprema para que el fin día no tenemos que tener un juicio ahí en Texas por semanas o meses y gastar mucho dinero y vamos a ver una decisión del Corte Suprema al fin de día que va a determinar de DACA o no. Claramente él dijo, no estoy de acuerdo con el programa, creo que es en contra de la Constitución, pero de todos modos, el Corte de Apelación va a tomar la última decisión. So, en mi opinión, es la decisión más favorable que pudimos ver de este juez de Texas, que todos pensamos que iba a ser algo muy negativo, pero nos dijo algo bueno hoy, que él no está de acuerdo, pero no puede cancelar el programa porque esperaron tanto tiempo los estados a poner la demanda. Ya tiene que ir a las Cortes de Apelaciones por una decisión final. Okay? So that's the explanation in Spanish. Any questions you have in English or in Espanol, let's go ahead and take them here. My man Arturo Gonzalez, he should stay for 21 days. Does that mean that they have to appeal within 21 days or wait 21 days? The appeal is to the Fifth Circuit, therefore no trial. So great question, Arturo. Yes, so basically he's saying you have 21 days to file your notice of appeal to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. That's just a simple one-pager, yes, we're gonna appeal this decision. Then the circuit court will issue a briefing schedule. If that happens, then the Judge Hanen will essentially stay proceedings. He says there later on, he'll entertain another stay so that the case essentially just gets put on hold. So he's given either party up to 21 days to file a notice. Yes, we want the Fifth Circuit to look at this. We want the ultimate decision on the law. And I guarantee you if the state of Texas doesn't want to do it, which if I was them, I probably wouldn't because I know Hanen's going to rule it. Now we'll just do a motion for summary judgment. But we do know that Maldef will do it because they understand that they have a better chance with the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals than they do with this crazy Judge Hanen, who's going to issue an order entering it, ending the program probably in summary judgment. Or if not for sure, if he lets it go through a full trial, then he'll still issue the order against it as well. So they have 21 days to issue the notice, which will then likely stay the trial. No trial is going to happen. That seems to be what he wants to avoid. I don't know if he just doesn't want to sit in the trial for 3 weeks or 4 weeks, however long it's going to be or what, or he really thinks, hey, people who are more intelligent and in a higher position of power than I should be deciding this issue, and that's what he's doing. Hopefully it's the latter, but you never know. So thank you, Arturo, for the question. Entonces, ¿puedo meter una nueva aplicación nuevo o tengo que esperar la decisión? Luz, muchísimas gracias por la pregunta. Desfortunadamente, esa decisión no tiene nada que ver con personas que nunca estaban en el programa. Es diciendo nada más, si estaba en el programa antes, no importa si nada más fue los primeros 2 años, pero si estaba antes en el programa, sí puede renovar. ¿Okay? Si es un inicial que nunca estaba en el programa, desfortunadamente esa decisión no toca eso. Nada más dijo que puede seguir renovando, pero no todavía puede meter iniciales. Desfortunadamente, perdimos el caso del Washington, D.C., donde el juez quería abrirlo a más personas. Él cambió su mente y dijo, no, voy a ordenar una pausa en mi orden, no tiene que aceptar los iniciales. So, en mi mente no estoy pensando algo en el futuro que le van a reabrir a todos la programa, porque el juez de Washington, D.C. dijo que ya no estaba de acuerdo con eso, porque iba a durar tanto tiempo para hacer decisiones sobre las aplicaciones. Eso fue la razón por qué usaron el juez para cambiar su mente. All right. Okay, Omar Rivera, is it possible for advanced parole to come back? Can the previous judge reinstate the program in full as a result of this decision? Omar, unfortunately, I don't see that happening. I think the advanced parole, which we were hoping to get and were excited to get a lot of people that benefit. And again, for those of you that don't know, advanced parole give you permission to leave the country for humanitarian, work-related, emergency-related reasons. And when you come back into the country, you have a legal entry, which makes it much easier to adjust status here in the United States of America. That order from the Washington, D.C. judge has been stayed by him himself. So what that means is Trump administration and USCIS said, hey, it's going to take up too much of our time to do these new initial applications, or we have to put everything else on hold. So it's really going to mess everybody else up. So the judge there said, forget about it. We're not going to let that happen. This decision, I don't see it affecting that case. They're both district court judges in different jurisdictions. So unfortunately, I don't see it having a benefit in getting us advanced parole back. Sorry. And let's see here. Belém, I haven't had DACA since 2015. I assume I would have to apply as a new recipient. Is my assumption correct, or can I, by some miracle, renew? Well, yes and no. So you can renew, you just have to do more work. And I think I'm thinking September of 2015, someone else out there that does these more often can correct me. If you expired before then you have to submit a complete initial package. Same application, the I-821D. The only difference is you have to get a lot more documentation proving you've been in the country from 2007 until now. So reach out to a local organization, Belém, and find out who can help you out. If you're here in the Valley, ADAC, Aliento, Puente, Poder, they're all doing it either for free or very low cost. And if you don't have those numbers, let me know, and I'll put you in contact with them. So you can, if you've been in the program once, you can do it again. You can get that work permit back. Of course, if you still meet all the other criteria, so make that happen. It seems like now there's not the fear of it being canceled anytime in the immediate future. So I would go ahead and sit down with one of those folks or an attorney and make that happen. All right. Brenda, ¿qué cree que pasa con DACA? Entonces tenemos esperanzas. So tenemos esperanzas que puede seguir renovando las personas su permiso de trabajo. Lo que dijo el juez aquí es que él es tan seguro que el programa no es válido, que debe cancelar el programa, y yo creo que él piensa al fin del día el Corte Suprema va a decir la misma cosa. So yo no creo que pongamos esperanza en los cortes ni los jueces en el Corte Suprema a una decisión favorable. Tenemos que seguir empujando el Congreso para una Dream Act limpio, para que todos puedan estar aquí legalmente, vivir y el camino a la ciudadanía. Al fin de día, yo no pienso que la Corte Suprema va a decir que el programa puede seguir. Algún día lo van a terminar, por eso tenemos que seguir peleando por un Dream Act limpio. Okay. Gracias por la pregunta, Brenda. Luz, gracias por mantenernos bien informados. Es un tema muy interesante. Es mi placer. Por eso fui a Escuela de Leyes, Luz, para que yo lo pueda ayudar en mi comunidad. Y es mi placer compartir lo que yo sé. And Selena Miguel, same thing. And I'll say it in English. That's my pleasure. And that's why I went to law school, so I could try to inform my community and keep everybody appraised of what's going on. And very, very happy to give the good news. Anybody else? Si van a recibir nuevas aplicaciones de Luz, we already talked about that. Gloria says hello. Mari says yay. This is reason to celebrate. Okay, let me be very clear about that. I have been on pins and needles. I predicted it was going to come out on a Friday, at earliest the first Friday after the hearing, but seeing that it was 117 pages, it makes sense why it wouldn't come out that first Friday, but it came out this Friday, simply because there's a lot of work that he and the clerks put into this to get this decision out there. And ultimately, it's one that reads very negatively, right? When you're talking about his opinion that it violates the APA and violates the take care clause of the Constitution. But nonetheless, he comes to the legal conclusion pretty accurately, from my opinion, that, hey, you guys waited too long. DACA program has been around since 2012. You didn't file it in 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. You waited too long. There's no immediacy for a preliminary injunction. So let's go ahead and see what the Court of Appeal says about this. See if we got any more questions coming in here. Yolanda, I think, is giving the shout out to Puente, Aliento, Lucha. Reach out for DACA for support. So that should be the links there. And reach out to them and make it happen. There was a uniform number, phone number too. If somebody knows that phone number, drop it down below, please. So that's the gist, folks, of what's happening. Again, a quick recap for those of you that are just joining us. DACA is still alive. DACA renewals are still alive. Judge Hanen issued a 117-page decision today, finding that he does not agree with DACA. He thinks it violates the APA. He thinks the states are injured, but the states took too long to file the lawsuit, and for that reason, the preliminary injunction will not be issued. He is certifying it and saying, please appeal my decision to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals and eventually to the United States Supreme Court so we can finally get a resolution of this issue. In my opinion, the best result that could have come out of Judge Hanen is him saying his negative stuff, why he thinks is bad, but also saying, let's get it up to the Court of Appeals and Supreme Court to get their final word on it. So that's it. And we got a visitor here from the Dirty South, Puro Pinpin, Puro Calimex, the great Will Harrell. If you don't know him, read up about him. The man, the myth, the legend. Thanks for coming in, Will Harrell. Appreciate it. Puroots, my man, Puroots. Well, that's how we do it over here in the Arizona side. So thank you all for joining in. Again, my name is Ray Ybarra Maldonado here in beautiful Arizona. Beautiful sunny day today. I wish you all an amazing Labor Day weekend. May we keep in mind all those who have struggled and fought for the 40-hour work week, for overtime, for the organizing to make sure that we can have a quality of life other than just making money for somebody else. So thank you, everybody that's been a part of labor unions or has been out there in the streets, has been marching and putting it down. We remember you and we respect you this weekend. Everybody have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. Any questions, even if you're not watching the live, drop them down below and we'll get back to you. Take care.